What happens when a blade forged in tradition is drawn in a world unraveling at the seams? In Rise of the Ronin, you are not a hero. You are not a savior. You are a shadow born of loss, part myth, part vengeance, haunting a land caught between dying empires and rising ideals. Team Ninja, the studio behind Neo and Ninja Gaiden, has stepped beyond narrow corridors and into their boldest gamble yet. A sprawling open world soaked in history, grief, and quiet rebellion. But this isn't just feudal fantasy with samurai skins. This is 19th century Japan at the edge of its soul, where every street whispers of war, every rooftop hides secrets, and every choice leaves a scar. You are a blade twin, orphaned by betrayal, shaped by blood. One foot in honor, the other in rebellion. And the question isn't whether you'll fight, but what you're really fighting for. Before you hit buy on Steam, ask yourself, are you ready to walk a path where loyalty blurs, history breathes, and silence speaks louder than steel? Because in this game, the world may open wide, but your past will close in fast. Step into the flickering twilight of the Edo period, a Japan on the brink, where centuries of shogunate rule are cracking under the weight of foreign influence and inner decay. Rise of the Ronin isn't just set in history, it bleeds it. From the crumbling authority of the Tokugawa shogunate to the fiery birth pangs of modern Japan, the game draws you into a world where tradition and transformation collide with every step. You play as one of the Blade twins, siblings whose lives are shattered when assassins, ordered by the regime, slaughter your parents in cold blood. That's not backstory, that's fuel. From the ashes, you rise, joining the veiled edge, an underground resistance hell-bent on ending shogunate tyranny. Whether you choose the brother or sister, your journey is soaked in personal loss, political complexity, and moral ambiguity. This isn't a tale of destiny, it's a war of belief. And real historical figures walk beside or against you. Sakamoto Ryoma, Yoshinobu Tokugawa, and Shoin Yoshida aren't mere cameos. They're living ideologies, allies, rivals, mentors, threats. Team Ninja doesn't hold your hand. The world doesn't wait. And as Japan teeters between isolation and invasion, you'll face a simple, searing truth. Sometimes revolution isn't sparked by armies. It's whispered through the edge of a Ronin's blade. At its heart, Rise of the Ronin isn't just about where you go, it's how you fight your way there. This is Team Ninja in their element. Blades clash with weight, timing, and tension that demand your full attention. The combat doesn't ask for button mashing. It demands precision, rhythm, and awareness. Parrying isn't optional, it's survival. You break stances, punish openings, and dance between styles like a warrior reading his enemy's soul. Each enemy encounter feels personal, like a duel written in blood. There are multiple combat stances, and each has strengths tied to specific enemy types and weapon matchups. Switching mid-fight becomes a kind of deadly choreography. Go light and fluid with dual katanas, or swing for the fences with a monstrous odachi. Prefer distance? Bows, rifles, pistols, even a fire-spewing flamethrower rooted in historical tech are yours to wield. This loop of challenge, adaptation, and mastery is the game's core. You scout enemy patrols, infiltrate camps, pick your approach silent and ghostly or loud and devastating. And in true Team Ninja fashion, even the smallest foes can end you if you get sloppy. Victory isn't just earned, it's learned. And every fight adds another page to your story as a Ronin who doesn't just survive, but makes the battlefield listen. The open world of Rise of the Ronin is less about endless sprawl and more about layered atmosphere. It's not trying to be another map filled with checklists. Instead, it offers 3 distinct lived-in cities, Yokohama, Kyoto, and Edo, each beating with its own rhythm. You'll wander down rain-slick cobbled streets, past lantern-lit tea houses, and hear merchants shout over the rumble of foreign cannons in the distance. This is Japan at a crossroads, and every alley feels like it. Know something you don't, but it's not all urban sprawl. Between these hubs stretch rolling countrysides, quiet villages, war-torn outposts, and sacred temples cradled in fog. There's serenity and violence here, often side by side. You'll gallop through rice fields on horseback, soar across rooftops, with a grappling hook, or silently glide over enemy lines with your glider. Yes, a glider. It's traversal as expression, not just movement. Exploration rewards curiosity, not just completion. You'll stumble on side quests that peel back personal stories, hidden shrines that echo spiritual unrest, and vistas that simply ask you to pause and breathe. And while the world may not be overflowing with icons, it pulses with presence. It doesn't shout for your attention. It lures you in with a whisper. A Ronin's journey, after all, is as much about where he walks as why he walks. In Rise of the Ronin, choice isn't just a marketing buzzword. It's embedded into the steel of your blade and the silence between your decisions. While this isn't a full-blown immersive sim, Team Ninja threads meaningful agency throughout your journey. Factions, loyalties, and personal bonds don't just color the world, they shape the path beneath your feet. 3 major factions vie for your influence: the loyalist pro-shogunate, the rebellious anti-shogunate, and the foreign-aligned. Westerners. Aligning with any of them changes more than just dialogue. It opens or shuts entire quest lines, alters your access to merchants, allies, and even changes the power dynamics in key areas. You're not just picking sides, you're planting seeds that will bloom or rot in unexpected ways. Your choices also ripple through your personal story. The Blade Twins, your protagonists, are deeply tied to the events around them. Your actions influence their relationships, their internal arcs, and ultimately, which of the game's multiple endings you arrive at. It's not about black and white morality, it's about gray choices in a gray world and the scars they leave behind. Character progression goes hand in hand with narrative. Skill trees let you hone different disciplines, from swordplay to stealth, while dialogue choices and combat decisions shape not just how others see you, but how you begin to see yourself. With Rise of the Ronin finally unsheathing on PC, Team Ninja isn't just doing a bare-bones port. They're aiming to make this version the definitive one. From high-end visuals to deep customization, the Steam release is stacked with features that'll make your rig sweat and shine. Let's talk raw performance. Native 4K? Yes. 8K support? If your setup can handle it. You're also looking at up to 120 frames per second, ray tracing support for more realistic lighting and shadows, and full compatibility with DLSS, FSR, and Intel ZSS, letting you squeeze out every drop of fidelity or frame rate depending on your needs. It's a buffet of modern PC tech. Prefer a wider view of Edo's skyline? Ultra-wide and super ultra-wide resolutions are supported right out of the gate. Want to ditch the controller? Mouse and keyboard bindings are fully customizable. Add in 3D audio, and you're not just playing in the world, you're inside it. But fair warning, this game is a hefty samurai. You'll need an SSD and 180 GB of free space just to install it. Minimum specs include a GTX 1060, while recommended shoots for RTX 2080 Super or RX 6700 XT territory. It's not for low-end warriors, but if you're equipped, the experience is built to be razor-sharp. Rise of the Ronin isn't a revolution, it's a reckoning. For Team Ninja, it marks the evolution of their signature style into something grander, more introspective, and yes, a little rough around the edges. The combat? Razor-sharp and deeply satisfying. The open world? Atmospheric, even if not overflowing. And the story? A quiet storm. Less about saving the world, more about understanding the cost of choosing your place within it. This isn't a game that begs to be rushed. It's one that asks you to sit with your decisions, listen to the silence between sword strikes, and feel the weight of a world coming undone. Some may find the pacing uneven or the content stretched a bit thin in places, but the heart is undeniable. You feel this game in the moments between firelight and betrayal. If you're coming from Ghost of Tsushima, expect more systems and grit. If you're a Souls veteran, expect less precision, more freedom, and if you're a fan of stories carved into steel, well, your blade awaits. Now it's your turn. What does the word Ronin mean to you? A wanderer? A warrior without a cause? Or something in between? Share your thoughts, your memories, or the first time a game truly made you feel like a lone blade against the storm.